What's good, second channel? I seen this video on YouTube. It looked kind of interesting. I'm ready to talk some hoops, yo. I'm ready to start talking hoops on these channels, man. Seriously. You know, my basketball knowledge is probably S tier. I'm not even gonna be like, I'm gonna be humble. I'm gonna say A tier. My basketball knowledge is up there, bro. I'm just so real with it, bro. I keep it real, bro. So, without further ado, I'm one of those guys who think the NBA, the finals would be different if injuries didn't exist. If you turn the injury sliders all the way off on 2K, we'll have a different finals, bro. You can't tell me not. You can't tell me we wouldn't, bro. So, we're watching the NBA playoffs, but without injuries. Let's full screen it. Let's full screen it, bro. Let's go, man.
What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another video on the channel. So as you can see with the title of this video, it's pretty self-explanatory. Today, I'm going to go through where I think the playoffs would have been if there were no injuries. It's my opinion. Go ahead, leave your own opinion in the comment section down below. But I got the playoff bracket right here.
Oh yeah. I'm not even gonna say mine. You know, I am. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna say what I think. I'm going to say what I think right now. So Utah and Memphis, Utah still winning that. No injuries. Don't care. Clippers and Dallas. Clippers still winning that regardless. Denver and Portland. You know what I'm saying? I still think Denver takes it, especially if Jamal Murray is healthy. Not going to lie. I don't think anybody's really injured on the Trailblazers except Zach Collins. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't really make a difference. Now, Phoenix and Lakers. Now, if AD was 100% and LeBron was 100%, I feel like Lakers take that in 6 or 7 games. I'm not even going to lie. Because AD was unstoppable. He wasn't being stopped. And you can say what you want. Oh, Phoenix still win. No, we was up 2-1. Bro, trust me. As a guy who watches the game, we was going to put these boys away in 5. But I'm giving y'all 6 though. I'm not even gonna do you like that because y'all could have got a game, at home or something. Yeah, I'm gonna say 6. You know what I'm saying? So, Lakers versus Denver. Okay, Lakers win that in 4. Same thing. Nah, Jamal Murray healthy 5. Winning in 5. So, okay, Utah and Clippers. Clippers won even when they had to have a Kawhi Leonard. So yeah. Kawhi Leonard, Clippers still advanced, so it's the Lakers-Clippers conference finals. And I think Clippers winning 6, just because of the role players being so terrible. I ain't gonna lie, the way we was playing before the playoffs, the Clippers would have beat us. I'm not even gonna cap. That would have been so embarrassing for LA, but it's either Clippers winning 6 or Lakers winning 7 because Clippers were no joke, especially without Kawhi pushing the Phoenix Suns to 6 games. So let's go on to the East. Philly wins that. Atlanta still wins that. Milwaukee still wins that. Brooklyn still wins that. Brooklyn beats Milwaukee if no injuries. Of course, we know this. I guess Atlanta still wins, and in Brooklyn, okay, we'll have probably a Clippers or Lakers in Brooklyn series, bro.
So many injuries. And I don't even want to talk about the injuries that would have affected playoff seeding, which would affect the playoff brackets.
And I'm saying Atlanta still wins because, Philly just sucks, bro. I know Joel Embiid had a torn meniscus, but come on, bro. They still would have lost.
The outcomes. But let's just talk about the playoff bracket we were dealt with after the play-in tournament. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But let's get started. In the Western Conference, 1 versus 8, Utah versus Memphis. Now, if you guys don't remember, Donovan Mitchell was actually injured in the first 2 games coming into the...
Oh, low-key, Utah didn't have, Mike Conley, bro. Utah didn't have Mike Conley, so that does change things low-key. So if Utah... but they still have Kawhi. I'm not even going to change
this series. And this was a pretty fun series to watch. John Morant, his performance in the playoffs has been forgotten. I ain't gonna lie. There's been so much. There's been so many things that have happened since this series. But John Morant went stupid in this series. Let me pull up the stats right now. John Morant was stupid in this series, man. Mind you, this is John Morant's first playoff series, and this is against the Utah Jazz, which is a top 5 defense in the league, might be one. And John Morant put up 30 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists on 49% shooting from the field. That is insane for your first playoff series to be that. And I know, you know, when the standard is Luka versus the Clippers last year, you know what I'm saying? Again, that's a stat line that gets, you know, thrown under the rug. But nah, John Morant was stupid in the series. However, also I just remembered we'd probably have to consider Jaren Jackson and his health. But even then, I would still have Utah winning this in 5 games, maybe 4. I don't see much changing in this series. Now let's go to the Clippers versus the Mavs, man. This series went to 7 games. And surprisingly, there weren't really that many injuries.
This is not one injury.
Aside from Luka. Now, the Luka injury, the injury that he had, it wasn't anything serious enough that he missed any games. But if you watch Luka this series, you can see that he just wasn't moving the same later on in the series, and that might have also been to fatigue. Look, for the people who watch the Let's Keep It a Buck podcast, y'all know I'm a big Luka fan. At least now, I'm a really big Luka fan, and I would like to think the Dallas Mavericks move to the second round if Luka was 100% healthy, but I'm gonna give it to the Clippers, man. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. Kawhi Leonard was just going stupid. There's no scenario they win. Going stupid this series, and Kristaps Porzingis was, from my understanding, pretty healthy in the series, and he was a a big reason as to why the Mavs lost. Anyway, so I still got the Clippers pulling this out in 7 games. Yep. Now let's go to the Denver versus Portland series. Now, the Denver Nuggets didn't have Jamal Murray. I'm pretty sure they didn't have another starter. Still won. I'm pretty sure. From my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, Nuggets fans. Y'all also didn't have Gary Harris. Yeah. I thought it was Paul Millsap that was injured, but it looks like you guys just benched him for the series.
Bro, they probably win that game in 5. I mean, they probably win that series in 5 if Jamal Murray was healthy.
But even with that,
you know, Dame's gonna give you always 1 game, bro. Come on, Dame's not gonna get swept. He's gonna give you 1 game, but that's pretty much
with
it.
Jamal Murray and another starter being out, the Denver Nuggets were still able to beat the Portland Trail Blazers in 6 games. And I feel like if Jamal Murray and Gary Harris were healthy, this would have been a 5-game series. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, 5 games.
I feel like this would have been a 5-game series. Next series we got is the Phoenix Suns versus the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yes,
I feel like this is gonna be one of the most interesting ones to talk about in this video because look, the Phoenix Suns throughout this whole playoff run, if you just watch how they execute, how they play, they have just been on a roll. You know what I'm saying? They have been hitting.
Yeah, but we talking about the first round where they didn't even know they was nice yet. They ain't really like know they was gonna be going crazy like this. They thought, you know, saying Lakers was gonna come do that to them, bro. Let's be 100, bro. Before they was on that roll, the first round they was looking pretty vulnerable. We just couldn't execute, you know, and AD went down.
On all cylinders, and I feel like regardless of who was in front of them, they would have played really good. But we cannot ignore the reality when it comes to this series, man. LeBron James was not 100% healthy. Anthony Davis could barely walk in this series. However, on the other side of things, I think a lot of people forgot that Chris Paul was also not 100% healthy. Yeah, I believe the first 2 games he was hobbled, and there were really no comments about the Lakers beating a injured Phoenix Suns. And a lot of people were still rooting for the Lakers and honestly really wouldn't have cared if the Lakers beat the Phoenix Suns with a hobbled Chris Paul for the rest of the series. However, now that the tables have turned, it seems like a lot of people have a problem with the Phoenix Suns actually beating a hobbled up Lakers team. Now, let's talk about what the series would have been if LeBron and AD were healthy. Look, I really love what the Phoenix Suns have done in these playoffs, but with the injuries the Lakers had, the fact that this was a 6-game series with a healthy LeBron James and a healthy Anthony Davis, and even if the series goes to a Game 7, I'm not going against LeBron in a Game 7.
Yes, sir. So you got Lakers in 7.
I cannot go against LeBron in a Game 7. So, in my opinion, the Lakers would have beat the Phoenix Suns if LeBron and AD were healthy.
So you hear it here first, guys. You heard it here first. He says the Suns are frauds. He just said that. In clear words, he said the Suns are frauds. Basically, he's saying this ring don't count. That's what he's saying.
That's just me. That is just me. Now let's go to the Eastern Conference. Philadelphia 76ers versus the Washington Wizards. Now I do know off the top of my head that there was an injury involved in this series with Russell Westbrook, because that was the whole, thing about the popcorn incident, was the man threw popcorn at Westbrook after he got hurt. However, I'm gonna be honest, I believe that injury was in the last 2 games of the series. I believe the Wizards were just clearly outmatched by the 76ers. So I do still have the Philadelphia 76ers pulling this one out in 5 games. The Knicks versus the Hawks, I don't see much changing in that series. I still have the Hawks winning that series one way or another. Maybe the Knicks. I don't even think there were any injuries. Let me know in the comment section.
Yeah, there wasn't
off the top of my head, I don't think there were any injuries in the series. I believe maybe DeAndre Hunter, the fact that he's been injury riddled this whole season, but nonetheless, that's neither here or there. I still have the Hawks winning that series. Now let's go to the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Miami Heat. Again, I feel like this was a relatively healthy series, so I still have the Bucks pulling this out in 4 games, in 5, whatever it is. Maybe I'm missing an injury off the top of my head, but the Bucks still come out of that one. And the Brooklyn Nets versus the Boston Celtics. Now for those who don't remember, this series was pretty
I forgot about Jaylen Brown. I did forget about Jaylen Brown.
Kemba Walker. He's been battling with injuries throughout the whole year, and in this series, I believe the Celtics even rested him throughout.
Still taking the Nets in 6. I ain't gonna lie. 6 games.
The season for the playoffs, and he got injured in this series. So Kemba wasn't healthy. Jaylen Brown did not play in the series at all. That is a 25-point per game score. The Boston Celtics were just missing. Was just missing. However, we also got to take into account that the Brooklyn Nets didn't have Spencer Dinwiddie. A lot of people don't, they just forget Spencer Dinwiddie was on the team. But nonetheless, even with the Boston Celtics healthy, I still have the Brooklyn Nets winning this in 5 games. A fully healthy Nets team is just wild.
You sure? I gave him.
It is just wild.
6, bro.
I ain't gonna lie. Now let's go back to the Western Conference. We have the Utah Jazz versus the LA Clippers.
I think the Celtics can pull off at least 2 at home, bro. They lose the first 2 games. They probably win the game at home. So game 3 they win. Game 4 they lose. And that's weird. That's crazy. You know what? Yeah, they go down 3-1 because they lose the second game. I think they win a game in Brooklyn, and then they, Brooklyn closes it out in Boston.
It's like it still actually happened in real life. However, this time Donovan Mitchell does not suffer his injuries from the end of game 2 for honestly the rest of the series, but also Kawhi Leonard does not miss game 6. Did he only miss game 6? Let me check. Okay, so Kawhi Leonard did miss game 5 and game 6, where game 5 the Los Angeles Clippers won, and game 6 as well the Los Angeles Clippers won. The series was actually tied 2-2 going into game 5 with Kawhi Leonard being out, and they won both games without Kawhi Leonard. I just sound like a broken record. I ain't gonna lie. So with these injuries not happening, Donovan Mitchell being 100% healthy and Kawhi Leonard being 100% healthy, I still got the Clippers coming out. I feel like the biggest turning point in this series was a coaching change by the Clippers to go small ball in game 6. And with Kawhi being there, I don't see them getting worse with Kawhi. Maybe Reggie Jackson specifically doesn't ball out, but I feel like as long as those changes are implemented and Rudy Gobert gets exposed, the Clippers still come out this one in 6 or 7 games. On the other side of the Western Conference, we have the Denver Nuggets versus the LA Clippers. However, now Jamal Murray is healthy, Gary Harris is healthy, and with the Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron James is healthy, and Anthony Davis is healthy. Now, I feel like with Jamal Murray there, this becomes a more competitive series than people make it seem. Jamal Murray is a really good player, really pivotal part to the Denver Nuggets. However, with that being said, they don't got LeBron and AD, and I feel like
they still lose.
With even with the Denver Nuggets, with Jokic improving from last year, I still got the Lakers. I still got the Lakers coming out of the series
in 5.
One way or another, maybe in 6 games, maybe in 7, but the Lakers to me still come out of the series. Now let's go to the Eastern Conference where we have the 6.
They don't have Jeremy Grant anymore. They have Eric Gordon. They don't have Jeremy Grant anymore to hold LeBron.
Sixers versus the Hawks with Embiid not playing on a torn meniscus or partially torn meniscus. I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to the Hawks in this series. Even with Joel Embiid's injury, he was still playing really good this series. It wasn't like it was holding him back, but to the point where the Sixers, you know, win the series. Again, that's where the benefit of the doubt comes in. I still feel like the Hawks' execution will still be there. Bro. And Ben Simmons was healthy.
Still trash.
And he was a big part as to why the 76ers lost. So as long as those things are still in place, I still have the Hawks winning that series, even with Joel Embiid fully healthy. On the other side of the bracket, a fully healthy Brooklyn Nets team
beats the Bucks
versus a fully healthy Milwaukee Bucks team. And after what I saw,
and the thing is, I just think the Bucks take too long to get into rhythm, whereas for real, they already lost both of the home games. They already lost both of the Brooklyn games. So they go back, and I see them getting game 3, but game 4, I just can't see that happening. Not to this team. So I'm going to have to go Nets in 5 because they're not losing in Brooklyn.
In the first 2 games of the series, with James Harden not playing for the Brooklyn Nets while the Milwaukee Bucks were fully healthy, I have the Brooklyn Nets beating the Bucks in 5 or 6 games. At most. If they sweep them, I wouldn't be surprised, but it's a hypothetical and we will never know. So I got the Nets beating the Bucks in the second round. So let's go to the Western Conference, and finally we get the Battle of LA. Clippers versus Lakers. Kawhi versus LeBron. I can't even say AD and Paul George because I feel like AD is so much better than Paul George. But this is the matchup we've all been wanting to see ever since LeBron came to LA. Oh, not LeBron came to LA.
Well, I couldn't say that anymore, bro, because Paul George earned respect, you know what I'm saying? But no AD. I ain't gonna lie. That Bubble AD was a different breed, bro. Bubble AD was something serious. And if we got the Battle of LA with Bubble AD and now Bron, Lakers in 5 or 6. I say Lakers.
Ever since Kawhi came to LA, this is what it's been about. This is what it's been about. I still feel like a fully healthy Anthony Davis is such a problem, bro. A lot of people have really forgotten how good Anthony Davis is because of his injury-riddled season this year. But
he's gonna be healthy next season. We're gonna be back after Space Jam.
And the Clippers do not have anything to stop him, and he's not a slow big like a Rudy Gobert.
I keep saying he don't have Serge Ibaka, but he said no injuries, right? So we gotta put Serge Ibaka there, but I still don't see him stopping AD, especially on the perimeter.
Not the fastest either. I would say, you know, Giannis is still faster.
He's just more athletic than Serge Ibaka.
But Anthony Davis is pretty mobile. Offensively, one of the most gifted offensive players in the league. Anthony Davis is a problem. Anthony Davis is a problem. LeBron will always be a problem. But with those aspects introduced, I have the Los Angeles Lakers winning that series in 6 games. I got the Lakers winning that one in 6 games.
You know, if he says that, that means, you know, Kawhi doesn't get injured, so Reggie Jackson probably doesn't have that breakout like series against the Jazz. You know what? I can see it happening. I'm not even gonna lie. So he's saying basically we get a Nets and Lakers finals if, you know, everybody's healthy. So basically, he's saying both of those teams are frauds, but, you know, he wants to be nice. I know
now, let's go to the Eastern Conference. We have the Atlanta Hawks versus a fully healthy Brooklyn Nets team.
Nothing to talk about.
In this series, Trae Young does not get injured. Also in the series,
it's still nothing to talk about.
The Nets have James Harden and Kyrie and Spencer Dinwiddie.
Nothing to talk about.
That being said, I have the Brooklyn Nets beating the Atlanta Hawks
in
5 games.
4.
5 games. I give them 5 games. 4. Now the NBA Finals, man. This is really what we want. Let's just be honest, man. It's cool that the Suns are going to the finals.
I hate everybody on Twitter be capping like they didn't want this.
It's cool that Giannis might go to the finals. You know?
Now, if you wanted this finals, put it in the comment section right now, bro. Everybody be capping on Twitter like they didn't. They want to seem smart, like, oh, I just want to see something different for a change. You know, saying the super teams is not my thing. You know, I don't want to see LeBron in the finals every year. You know, Man, it's just I just want to see CP3. You know what I'm saying? That team that's works so well together, man. They just it's a whole unit on the court, man. And the Bucks, man, they just deserve this. And Giannis, no. Y'all wanted to see this. I don't want to hear it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is cool. Like, I'm still gonna watch. I'm still interested.
Yeah, we still gonna watch. Let's be honest.
We wanted a Titan war in the NBA Finals between one of the LA teams, preferably, and the Brooklyn Nets. That is what we wanted to see. So in this hypothetical, we do get that. The Los Angeles Lakers versus the Brooklyn Nets. And I am not gonna lie. I'm still sticking to my guns from the beginning of the season, man. A fully healthy Lakers team, especially this far into the playoffs.
Really?
I'm assuming they've already been hitting on all cylinders. You know what I'm saying? Chemistry is on point. Braun is playing like LeBron, the LeBron that we know.
Okay.
The Brooklyn Nets not only don't have anything to stop LeBron, they don't have anything to stop Anthony Davis, man, and defend.
Wow.
When you have those offensive weapons against the Brooklyn Nets, even though the Brooklyn Nets are insane, while also having defensive options as well, defensive options and defensive versatility, I'm taking the Lakers in that series. Lakers in 6. I'm still sticking to that. So that's my hypothetical bracket, guys.
Nice.
That is what I feel like the playoffs would have been.
I agree.
If there were no injuries.
I agree.
Hope y'all like this video. Leave a like on it, man. Leave a like on it. Leave a like on it, man. It's cool.
Nice.
It's cool, man. But I'm going to see y'all on the next one.
I agree, man.
Peace
agree.
Out.
Nice. I agree. Let me know if you agree in the comment section, bro. But if you don't agree, tell me why. Because there's no reason not to agree, bro. Nice.